Okay, so episode one.
Episode
Actually,
one,
it's a pre-episode.
free episode, yeah. So
This is our
it's
pilot.
yeah, pilot.
Hopefully, we get picked up.
Pick that. Nah. We're gonna make it on our own. We don't need nobody to pick it up.
Okay,
We're
all
running
right.
with it, so you know.
I'm just letting you know that if someone's interested in picking up, I'm selling out right away. Selling out. Yo, so talk to me about Paisa Life.
Paisa Life. This is obviously the first Paisa Life podcast. So
It is. It's the debut, world exclusive debut.
the first thing Paisa Life related we're gonna release. Because again, I don't want people to think that I'm Paisa Life. You know, again, this is an idea I've had for so long that I finally gone through enough things in life that I finally realized that I need to do something about manifesting entity to represent our community, you know. And by our community, as you can tell by the name, Paisa
Paisas.
Life, you know, Paisa, you know, yeah. Again, but the thing about Paisa is that it's not a race thing because there's a lot
That,
of Paisas that are, you know,
that's actually
that are all different shades, you know.
that's actually a great point to bring up. So let's, for those of the people that don't know what a Paisa is, what would your definition of a Paisa be?
m- to me, my paisa is someone that I look at and be like, "Hey, you look like me, and we feel like we understand each other." So you're my paisa, you know. I'm gonna relate to you. Not that I don't relate like that with, you know, black people, white people, or Asians, or anybody else. It's just the fact that you know, if I say, "Yo, let's go get some conchas," I'm sure you know they
Yeah,
understand what I'm
some
talking
most
about.
Chinamen won't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
you know, and sometimes that's not just you know, like it's cultural more than anything, you know.
Right. So it's more Latino based.
Yeah, you know, again, I don't want to generalize in saying one specific thing.
Right.
My personal views on the whole, categorizing it as Latina is a whole nother thing. But you know, again, my only focus is to worry on you know biceps. You know, because
Well, but let's keep it real for a second. A couple seconds ago, you mentioned the word concha, and if someone hears that, the only people that are gonna know what you mean are Latinos.
yeah, I mean, I know a couple of white people, a couple of black people that know
So do
what
I.
conchas
Yeah,
are. You
absolutely.
know, but yeah, you know, me personally, I like to call us brown people. Brown folk because again, Latino. Again, if you break down what the word means, it's I'm from neither one of those places where the people that that name references to actually come from. You know.
Like saying Hispanic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like calling me Spanish. I'm not from Spain, so how can I be Spanish? You know.
But yeah, you know what
I've
though?
never stepped foot in Spain, so me personally, I can't say I'm Spanish. I speak the Spanish language, but I myself have never been to the country of Spain. You know, I can't, you know, in my immediate family say, oh, relatives are from there, or they might have roots. Who knows? I'm sure. Again, me as a Mexican man in 2016 is, you know, like you look at me and you can tell that I'm not white. You can tell that I'm not Asian. You can tell I'm you know, I look a certain way, and you know, people will categorize me as a Mexican. You know, me personally, I categorize myself as a brown person, a brown folk. You know, maybe some people will even say Native American, because again, you slap a feather on my head right now, and you know, I put a denim jacket on, you know,
Oh
and
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
you know, like it'll be hard for you to say. You'd be like, no, he's Mexican, but then you look at me, you're like, oh, actually, no, this is really Native American, you know.
Well, see, that's the thing with me. No one ever knows what I am. Nobody knows what I am, and I can get away with it because I could be anybody that I want.
And yet you're a paisa, you know,
Right, that's true.
and then that's why I'm saying that the whole paisa thing isn't really categorized into you know race wise, you know, because it's a bit of everything, you know, a little mixture of everything. Because again, a paisa is not directly one race. It's not one directly one culture. It's just you know, because I know a lot of paisas that you know don't realize they're paisas.
That's
You
true.
know,
Or they don't want to accept the fact that they're paisas.
either or, yeah. Like for
Absolutely.
example, your friend at one point, Emmanuel, he was Filipino or what?
Filipino.
He was Filipino, and the first time I saw it, I was like, "Get away," because like I really, really thought that he understood Spanish because he looked like he understood
Yeah.
Spanish. You know, he looked like my cousin. And then you know, to find out he's from a whole nother island, it's like, oh, from a different
Yeah.
island, but why we look alike? You know,
Exactly.
and again, you know, But you talk to him, and again, if you were just to speak to him, you probably be like, hey, he's probably white.
Yeah.
But again, looked like my cousin, so again, grow his hair, put a feather in his head.
You might look, yeah, absolutely. It definitely has to do a lot with the way that you grew up as well.
Yeah.
Because you could be from certain parts of Mexico and Honduras,
Mm,
and we probably wouldn't relate to you as much as
yeah.
some of the people that.
Again, we don't here in the U.S. The whole reason why we're here is because we came here because of financial reasons. So
That's true.
if you stop and think about it, we ourselves don't really have many connections with money having Mexico.
And you know what? I'm just so glad that you brought that point up because tomorrow I turn 26, and
Ooh,
yeah, it was
20 something, 20 something.
20 something.
Is your 20 somethingth birthday?
Yeah, pretty much. So I was on the way back from Poughkeepsie. I had a game today, and on the way back, my mom was in the back seat, and she was telling me, "Wow, you're turning 26. At that age, your dad was already here in the U.S." So that hit me pretty hard, and I'm thinking to myself, "My God, that is ridiculous." At the point that I am in my life, my dad chose to leave his family, his country, his people, his culture, everything. He said, I got to make something happen. I got to hustle.
He literally changed worlds.
Yeah, exactly. So he came over here, and my mom told me this pretty sad story today. I guess she's been reflecting a lot because my birthday's tomorrow, her birthday's on Wednesday, and she's starting to feel her mortality pretty heavy. She's starting to be, she's in the 50-something club. She doesn't look like it, but she's in there. And she's been reflecting a lot on it lately. And today she was telling me the story of how when I was living in Hasbrook, I must have been here maybe a couple months. And she offered me some pan dulce, which if you're a paisa, you know what I'm talking about. Conchas, yeah, exactly. So for those of you who don't know what pan dulce is, it's just think of bread and add a lot of sugar to it, and it's delicious.
A lot of people call it donut bread.
Do they?
Yeah, because it's pretty much sort of similar. I mean, we put sugar on it. Some people
absolutely
put glaze on it.
Right.
Ours is different shapes. Different types.
Yeah.
But
ours have a little more swag to it.
Of course.
Absolutely.
With mad flavor.
Course.
Because you can slap whatever you want, donut, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
it's still not as swag as doesn't have as much swag as a concha.
Not even swag, just flavor, bro. Just
flavor, that's true.
Nothing explodes in your mouth like Mexican food.
You know what it is, man?
Good or bad, it explodes.
I've always said this, that you taste a donut and it's good, but it's missing something. You taste pan dulce and it has that ingredient. It has that flavor because somebody.
They're ridiculous about the sugar.
It's the diabetes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's
diabetes is delicious.
It is. No, but it's because it's made by hand.
Yeah.
It's made by hand, so it's got that extra ingredient, which is that love, that here. There it is. It's that paisa
that's
ingredient.
True, because I have tried processed conchas.
Oh, terrible. The ones that they sell at gas stations? Horrible.
You're fucking right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
and no concha that you get from a bakery tastes the same as another one because it was made differently. They just kind of threw the ingredients together. There's no real recipe. There's a recipe, but they don't really follow this. It's not like 2 ounces of this and a pinch of this. It's just like, yo, good enough, yo.
I remember it this way, so I'm going to do it like that.
Yeah, exactly. So another person comes up and they teach them how to do it, and they might do it differently. They might add this. Every bakery has a different bread, but it's all the same thing. The same models, they just taste differently.
Different shell.
Yeah. Different parts of Mexico make it differently.
Yeah.
That's what's crazy.
And they call it different things.
Absolutely. Same thing with tamales, same thing with pozole. Everything is different. And that's why I like meeting people from other parts of Mexico, because the food is ridiculous. My grandma makes tamales one way. I'm sure your mom or your girl's mom might make it a different way. It's still good as hell, but it tastes differently, and it's the same thing, which is crazy. It's not like white people food. White people food is like, oh, it's a burger. Okay, it tastes pretty much the same. You cooked it maybe a little longer, but
I mean, yeah, because even if you went the ridiculous route to where it's like, oh, it's grass-fed beef
yeah,
and
artisanal bread
and like whole grain bread and like all that crazy shit. Like you put any of those next to a semita or anything like that.
Yeah,
like the flavor might sort of be there, like technically to where you're supposed to expect, but in reality, what you want is you don't want that prim perfect shit. Like you want that
Yeah.
nitty gritty. You want that shit that makes you feel good at that moment.
And you know why?
Why?
Because white people hate spices. They hate spices in their
Is it
food.
spices or is it flavor?
S- Spices give it flavor. That's what makes the flavor, bro.
No, I mean,
So
maybe they don't like the adding the other stuff, or
It could be.
maybe they don't like the actual taste of it.
Could be.
Who knows?
But anyway, back to the story that I was telling you. So my mom was
Yeah,
telling me I was a young kid. I was maybe 5 or 6. We were fresh off the boat. We were here.
Paisa Life.
Paisa Life, absolutely. We were straight Paisas, and we came, and she offered me a piece of bread. She said, "Do you want pan dulce?" Now there was a bakery about a block away, Hasbrook,
Yeah.
and I said yes. And she could only afford one piece of bread, and the only reason was because she dug through all her pants. She looked all over the floor, scraped up whatever pennies she could find, and literally bought it using pennies and dimes and nickels. That's how broke we were. That we had to scrape money off the floor
Right.
for one piece of pan dulce.
Yeah, and that's the thing people don't understand, that the
No, they
whole
don't.
changing world is you literally have to start from the bottom.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
so the first thing, the first thing you start doing once you realize how low you are, is to always aim so high. Because
Absolutely.
you all you can't do is help but look straight up and be like, yo, that's where I want to be.
Absolutely.
And then being here, like even though that's all the way up there, it's not as steep as it is in places like where we come from.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
over there we don't have no middle class. It's
No.
you're either
Poor?
poor like most people are, or you got money,
You
or you got money.
The gap is ridiculous,
I-
man.
The one thing I like to tell people is that when I was in Mexico last time, the first European car I saw was an Audi R8 in Puebla, bro. That's
Wow.
an R8, bro. And just in the street like it was nothing. I'm like,
Mhm.
word? I'm like, I see ya. And then family members were driving me around. And then at the time we drove by a Ferrari dealer, bro. Like you have no idea how much that shit fucking blew my mind. Cause again, Paisa Life, me being from here, I'm assuming my home country is a certain type of way.
Right.
And I go back and then I see all this crazy shit. I'm like, yo, this is completely different.
Right.
And then they're like, oh, let's just go to where we're from. And then they're like, oh, okay, yeah, it is like I remember. They just, I just never really had any connection with the other side.
Okay.
You know?
You weren't
So-
exposed. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, because like if we like people that come from Mexico on
Oh, yeah.
the on shit like that are blonde, blue eyed, come over here, like they blend in so
So
well. You
perfectly.
never know they were
No,
Mexican.
you would never know.
And then again,
No.
their parents went to schools where they spoke English, so they kind of grew up speaking a little English.
Yeah, yeah. They
They
might
s-
have a little accent.
They
Yeah.
might, but they come over here and obviously they iron it out. Like us, we speak so differently because we just learned it from just playing outside,
That's
TV.
true.
You know,
Yo, that's true, man. Well, actually, you know what? My dad actually, he would give me lessons when I was like 3 or 4,
but he was learning.
but he was learning at
But
the
he
same
was
time.
learning. He didn't know the craft he was teaching you as he learned. And then that's the whole beauty of like internet stuff.
Yeah.
Because now
It's so
now,
easy,
now
man.
you can connect to anything. Back in the day, you really just had to hot boy. You had to just freaking just wing it.
Yo, is it maybe it's just me, man, but I feel like now that you have all of this information, all these resources online, like it's so easy, but you just I feel like I have them and I don't look for them because in the back of my mind I'm like, you know what? They're gonna be there tomorrow. And I feel like our parents didn't have that luxury. It's either you learn it or you don't. So it was always like they had a time set for them. Either you do it before this happens, before you get too old, before you regret it, before this happens, before that. Learn it now or you're done. I feel like I don't really have that because if I want to learn something, I can do it today, I can do it tomorrow, I can do it next week. The information's going to be there regardless.
Well, obviously we get corrupted by the culture.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yep.
But the one thing we also got to give ourselves credit for is that they came over here, they set the groundwork, and can you hear that on the thing?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and then that they came over here and they pretty much laid down the groundwork for whatever our brighter future was going to be. Because in reality, they didn't come here for them.
No, that's true.
They came here for us. They were like, yo,
Yeah.
I have little ones. I have nothing but poverty here.
No.
Do I want my kids to really grow up in poverty, or I heard there's somewhere where you gotta work, but there's nicer things, you know.
Yeah.
So it's because again, we gotta. If this is gonna be Paisa life, we wanna teach people that don't know what Paisa is. What is Paisa? You know,
Yeah.
because again, this is just a group, a community group. You know,
Yeah.
like you don't have to support us. You don't have to be one of us to support us. You know,
Yeah.
again, we just want to bring awareness to that. You know, the community. That's why we're naming it Paisa Life because it's just it's all of us that live that one life that we just understand. So when you say Paisa Life, you know, it's connected to it. It's just one of those moments where it's like, yeah, that definitely describes my life, because we all have so many different experiences like that we don't know it. And another thing we do is, how many times do you tell people, oh, your Paisa Life experiences,
And it's
and
mind blowing
yeah,
to them.
they're like, whoa, really?
Yeah.
Because think about it. They're like, oh,
Yeah. Wow.
they're like 12 million illegal Mexicans. We got to get the hell out of here. Yeah. But if you stop and think about it, there's a lot of people that are, because think about it. Grandpas didn't really come over here. There's a few, but then they got a bunch of kids and then they speak English. And
That's
then
true.
they got kids,
Yeah.
and then all of their kids speak English. There's a lot of second generations here. So Paisa Life has been here for a while. Again, there's nothing new, but now there's more of us. So now it can really be a community. Before, those people were the ones that left their homeland. They were like, "Fuck it, let's just go." You know, so they set up pretty much foundations for
Yeah,
us
that's
to
true.
come in and build on top of that.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's why we gotta explode with everything we create, bro. Because you know me, man. I'm as a brown man, I'm always down for manual labor and freaking any other any other type of business that makes money, bro. Because again, we come from a place where we have nothing, to you get nothing, to everyone takes, even steals from you. It's like, you want to live like that, or you want to come here and try to make better for yourself, And most people will be like, yeah, Mexicans steal jobs, steal this. Yo, bro, all the jobs I have is because, trust me, I don't see white people doing them.
That's true.
I went to go I went to go work on someone's yard today, and that sounds like it's pretty easy.
That's
Like,
not.
I'm transforming backyards. I'm literally transforming the way people are gonna like hang out on their Sundays. Like, I'm literally walking in and I'm like, yo, you need to do this, because as soon as you come in, you get this sort of flow, and then you want to connect these things, you want to clean that up, you want to do this, and they're like, oh, but I kind of want to do this. I'm like, I don't even say that, instead of buying it, I'm gonna build you this shit around here, we get some wood, like, and they get happy. So pretty much what I'm selling is not just the service, it's just the experience,
Yeah.
of having a paisa in your backyard with you, doing all the shit you don't want to do.
Oh man! And on that note, man, the sponsor, JJ Services,
Oh yeah,
for all your cleaning needs.
holla at us, holla at us,
Just
holla
Google
at
it.
them. Yeah, holla at
They'll
them.
be there.
Man. Yeah, they'll be there.
They'll be there. But yo, you know what? Do you have any communication with your family from Mexico?
Yeah, phone calls,
Facebook.
Facebook.
Oh man, Facebook, yo.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that I've noticed from especially my mom's side of the family. But they think we have it pretty easy here.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Oh my God, they don't realize that you work. That's all you do. You work and work and
Yeah.
work and work. They don't see it that
The
way.
reason we have nice things here is because that's like the only way to live here.
Oh yeah,
Like, think about it. If you want to save money on clothes, you gotta go to Marshalls, and like, I mean, that doesn't sound like it's first world problems. But if you stop and think about it, like, if we don't do any of that, like, then you don't blend in,
that's true.
and then you're stuck in step one.
Oh my God.
So if you don't move forward, then that's when society looks down. You be like, oh, there they go, the fucking Mexicans, the girls, those type of people.
Oh my God,
like,
that's true.
because there are few bad apples. Again,
Oh, yeah.
again,
that's anybody, man.
statistically wise, everything happens everywhere.
Yeah.
So again, me personally, that's why I'm coming forward and saying, hey, I'm a Mexican, and I mean you no harm. I'm actually here trying to help you.
Yeah.
Holla at me. We get shit done.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But,
Absolutely.
you
But
know,
yeah, that brings up another point, man. How many Mexican guys have you that I've worked with? I know a bunch that come to the U.S. from Mexico, Honduras. It doesn't have to be Mexicans, but how many Latinos come in? We'll call them Latinos for
yeah, so people understand.
just so people understand. We call them Paisas, but you guys aren't gonna get the real picture. But how many of them come to this country from their third world country? They're broke. Like, let me rephrase that. They're poor. Broken poor.
Yeah, because Mexico's broke, but then like Central America and
They're
South America,
real broken.
they're
My
probably a little
goodness.
more broke.
Oh, absolutely.
Mexico's probably the best broke though.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
And we also, yeah, absolutely. That's
that,
why they hate us so
that's it.
much.
I was just gonna say that's why all of them hate us, and then that's why like in the U.S. like Americans like there's the number one thing they'll refer to everybody as a
As a
Mexican.
Mexican.
Like I don't
Oh,
care
people,
where you're
they
from.
hate that.
Again, they see brown, they're like Mexican, you know.
Yeah.
So again, that's
You know what? And I feel like I don't really have that problem. No one ever refers to me as a Mexican. They're like, "What are you? Are you?"
It's because you light skin.
That's because I'm light skinned.
Light skin, bro.
Like team light skin, baby. What's up? No, but yeah, it's like, oh, are you Puerto Rican? Are you Dominican? Are you this? No, I never get offended. No, I'm Mexican. But if you call them Mexican, oh my god, bro. My god, they get furious. I'm no Mexican. I'm a Durian, Salvadorian. You know what? I don't get it. I would be honored to be Mexican if I was in their position.
That's why I wanna erase just labels. And then just
Yeah, that's true.
Again, just everybody, brown folk. You know. Again,
Yeah.
Again, race. We aren't really given race. You know. That's why, because technically everyone in the whole third world is sort of mixed somehow.
Yeah.
You know.
That's true.
You got to remember there was a lot of genocide.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of rape of the indigenous women.
Yeah.
Shout out to rape.
That's why they don't set up rape.
No,
but,
we can't do
but it's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
That's why a lot of us are here.
Oh yeah, actually, I think my mom was telling me that on her mom's side she has a black grandfather.
Fuck.
Yeah, she has a
Crazy.
black grandfather.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
So her grandfather was black.
her mom's grandfather was black.
Also her great grandfather.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I could have just said it that way, but yeah, he was black.
It's
I mean, he was Mexican, but he was black. He was a black living in Mexico.
yeah.
It's pretty crazy. So that's where I get my love of basketball from.
Yeah.
That was wild racist, but yeah.
Like 1800s. Yeah, I can see that.
No, probably like 1920s. No, maybe
late
late
18s.
1800s, early 1900s.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Again, we don't know much about our race. You know, past
Yeah,
our
man.
grandparents, we don't really know much, bro.
That's true. I've always wanted to really trace back my roots and see who was doing what, man. Always. I want to know where I got all this light skin from because my grandparents. I mean, my grandpa wasn't light skin. Especially my mom's side either.
Yeah.
There's foul play somewhere. There's foul play somewhere.
I mean, it's all genetics, man.
Yeah, it's all genetics. That's somewhere along the line.
Just it's all chances, bro. It's all chances. It's
man.
all numbers. It's all numbers.
It is.
All
It
numbers,
is, man. But let's move the conversation away from let's talk about what happened today in Orlando.
I don't even know what happened.
You don't know what happened in Orlando? Okay, so
Aware me, man. Aware me.
okay, so so I don't really know every little fact, but what I understood was some guy went into a gay nightclub in Orlando
During the day.
during the night while they were partying and just
Okay.
shot it up.
I mean, you said this morning something like.
No, I like at 2 a.m.
Oh,
he went through and he shot it up, killed like 50 people.
Damn.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah,
okay.
absolutely. Now the thing was that this dude has a very Muslim-sounding name, and right away, the conversation shifted from "Yo, a lot of gay people just got killed" to "This wouldn't happen if Hillary and Obama were in office. That's why we need to get Trump." And then the other side was like, "This is what's gonna keep happening if you let the guns." Like everybody forgot that gays just like everybody like just completely forgot about the gay community, and they were just blaming liberals and they're blaming Republicans. It's I mean, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, it's brutal.
Sounds mad politic.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Like-
did you hear about that? Actually, I think it happened in Orlando as well. There was a girl that got killed yesterday.
Florida, bro. Florida.
Florida's crazy, bro. I mean, they have alligators and crocodiles. Why wouldn't it be crazy?
It's literally the jungle.
It is, man. It is.
I know all of those things don't live in jungles, but I just call it jungle.
Yo,
'cause it's wild.
it is now.
Wild.
It is now. It's part of the rainforest, bro. Jungle rainforest. Yeah, it's wild down there, man. It's wild down there. It's like every bad part of the south and every bad part of the north just combined.
Do you think it has anything to do with the Bermuda Triangle?
It could be.
Who knows, man? again, that whole Gulf region, like I mean, I don't want to sound too crazy here, but I have a theory that the Gulf of Mexico is where the asteroid hit that killed the
That's what they
dinosaurs.
say, right? There's
Yeah,
some bad vibes down there. Actually, yo, let's talk about that for a second because, man, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like the U.S. doesn't see all that paranormal activity as much as countries down south do, and I came to the conclusion that it's because
paperwork.
that too, but it's but it's mostly because, well, in my opinion, it's because the U.S. doesn't have the type of history that countries south of the border do. So let's talk about Mexico for a second. You talk about Mexico's past; it's brutal. Mexico has had a brutal past.
Of
It's
course,
actually it's always been brutal. It's never had like, a golden era. It's always just been one struggle after another.
that's why we're warriors.
Well, that's what it is. And when you really think about our ancestors, they were praying to demons.
Yeah, I mean, to make it sound simple for everybody, pretty much.
That's pretty much what they were. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
because you had gods and then you had
Yeah,
your not so good gods.
exactly.
Because again, just to make it simple, you can just call it demons. But when you look at it from the way they were looking at it,
Yeah,
they were just praising the ups and downs.
absolutely. No, absolutely. Every god had some sort of attribute, and they control the weather, the crops, fertility. But the way that they would praise them and the way that they would really celebrate their gods was a pretty in a pretty brutal fashion. They would sacrifice people. So I mean, I feel like a lot of that bad vibe, those that bad juju is just still there, and that's what attracts all these evil things. Whether it's
You give life, you take life, bro.
yeah, absolutely, yeah, that's true.
Again, because when you live life with the fear of death and of the unknown, like you build your own fear.
Yeah, man, that's
You
true.
know, because a lot of people are scared of things that they were told to be scared of.
Yeah, man.
That's why the moment I realized, yo, instead of saying, okay, I'm supposed to be scared, like just open your eyes and see what's there. And the first way I did it was by literally just standing in the woods in the dark, like
Yeah.
because like yeah, like just walking in my old house. I had like pretty much woods.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it wasn't really woods
Nah, that's a pretty
because it was circled off, but it was
right.
just a bunch of trees.
Yeah,
Like if you walk down the path, there's a point where it gets pretty dark.
yeah,
And then I just walked in there, and I was like, you know what? I'm sure nothing is here because I've had like times where I felt like scared, like oh my god, there's a ghost here,
yeah.
something. And then I was like, you know what? Let me just walk over there and see it because I was feeling scared, and I was like, you know what? Nah,
You know?
I was like, no, not today, man. Like something told me to say nah, so I went back around, walked,
Yeah,
and like just my eyes open, and nothing was there. It was just woods, and it was just dark, like and because I've been there during the day, same exact place,
yeah.
and it sounded exactly the same, just dark. And then that's when I realized, hey, in the dark, all there's just no light. It's the same exact thing, and there's just no light.
Mm.
We associate dark with like evil shit like that. Like people say nothing good ever happens past 2 a.m.,
That's true.
but that's because they don't stay past 2 a.m.
That's
You know
true.
how,
Because you're too scared of what's gonna happen after 2 a.m.
yeah, like a lot of beautiful, like a lot of kids are born at night.
That's true.
There's
That's true.
again, you got to look at the ups and downs of life. You can't just expect everything to be, rainbows and unicorns and nice.
That's true.
We should all hold hands and tell secrets. Type shit, nah. Like we live real life. That's the only way to live life. Because that's all we do have real life.
Yeah.
So again, we have life gives us a lot of filters that that make accepting life easy, and it's usually cool when you can just peel everything back and just be like, let me just choose the filters I want.
That's true.
Instead of being given the filters. Because if in Instagram you were given what filter to use for your picture, you would like that. You'd be like, hold on,
Right.
hold on.
So you have multiple filters, and
I
now
li-
you can set them up. You
Be
can
like,
alter
I
them.
like this one at 45%.
There you go.
Like I don't want just the regular. You want percentages and
Yeah, man.
saturations and
Yeah,
contrasts
man.
and all that. Like, yeah, again, you want to pick your own.
Absolutely.
Again, because we all have our visions for what we want. And when I walk into my basement when it's dark, I think of my basement being dark. I don't think of anything being down there.
Yeah.
If I hear a noise, I'm like, there's every time I've ever heard a noise, there's something there, something. You know. Like it's because my windows are creaking because it's windy outside.
Yeah.
Like just things like that. Oh my floor is creaking. Oh, it's actually my refrigerator is dropping ice cubes.
Yeah.
And just
So the problem I have with that is in my backyard there's a bunch of noises. Sometimes raccoons get in there. Sometimes it's
I
a bunch
mean,
of animals,
not to
squirrels.
discredit anybody. I'm just saying me.
Yeah, no, I know, I know. But here's the thing about me. Sometimes I hear sounds in my backyard that I'm convinced is someone because it's happened before. Did I tell you that story?
No.
There was a crackhead, bro, that went into my neighbor's backyard, and he broke open their little house, their tool shed, and he broke it and he stole a bunch of tools and a bunch of cans that they were going to recycle out of beer cans, out of soda cans. And I was doing homework. I was in my kitchen upstairs doing some homework, and I hear the neighbors
Getting your
calling.
recycle stolen.
Yeah, that's how low it was. But I was doing some homework upstairs, and my neighbor starts calling my dad's name. At first, I think I'm imagining it, and I look out to the window, and I ask, "Do you need my dad?" And they're saying, "Yeah, there's somebody breaking in our backyard, and I think they just went to yours." I heard that, and I was like, "Okay." I knocked on my dad's door. I'm like, "Someone's outside the yard."
That's where you fucked up. But you should have ran straight outside and just yelled for your pops or something.
Here's what happened. So I went upstairs and I went to Tron and I said, "Yo, Tron, I need to check something out." So there's a patio up there. So me and Tron go outside and we look outside and we see a crackhead throwing cans in our backyard. He's still in my neighbor's yard, but he's throwing all the cans over to the other yard and he's gonna move to my yard. I
So
said, "You know
pretty
what?
much your neighbor told you he was already there just to kind of get you on
Pretty
the
much,
to
yeah,
act up.
just to get me ready." So I'm like, "Yo, we're gonna catch this dude." So we're gonna wait for him in the other neighbor's yard. So sure enough, we see him start throwing stuff over the yard, and we're like, "Yo, what do you got there?" He's like, "Oh, I got some cans." I'm like, "Those are yours?" He's like, "Yeah, man." I'm like, "You sure?" Because my neighbor's telling me that that's hers. And I had a bat, and Tron had a pipe or something, and he's like, "Yo, man, chill, you're bugging." I'm like, "Nah, yo, leave them, or I'm
Hey,
gonna have
you want
to."
to be a tougher guy?
Yeah, exactly. And he looked at me. He's like, "All right, all right, all right." So he dropped everything and he just left.
Damn, that's crazy.
So now every time I hear a noise, I'm convinced it's a crackhead stealing somebody's cans.
City.
So I always have to go outside and look. At least turn on the lights just to scare him off. Just like a roach. You just turn on the lights like, hey, get out of here. This is private property. Just shoot.
You're trespassing. Get off my lawn.
Which leads me to my next point. I need a gun. So,
you need to become a citizen first.
well, you know what? There's ways to get a gun.
Of course, this is
We're going to erase that part of this
But yeah,
podcast.
the way we'll word it is
Oh, man.
I will wait till I become a U.S. citizen
Yeah.
to legally apply
Oh.
for a carry permit.
Wow. What about a bow? Can you?
Oh, not yet, but I'm all about bows. Yeah, bows.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna cop a
bows.
bow.
Yeah, bows. Yeah. Bows, knives. Again,
Yeah.
Paisa Life. You can't.
Nice life. You gotta,
you
you get
gotta-
your hunting warrior instinct out and be like, "Yo, you ready?" Yo, because a bow, taking a bow out is a scary thing. If you see somebody holding a bow against you,
Yeah.
that's
Obviously not gonna just take it out in public. You want to take out a gun in public?
no. But I'm saying if somebody broke into my backyard again and you just
Oh yeah.
just the leg is
yeah,
done.
You'd be like you're on private property, B.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can even get those arrowheads with GPS on them.
Oh
if,
man.
if they got them. Yeah,
If it, so like if
imagine
it's
you tag a crackhead.
oh, we could follow him for days, bro. Ah man, but that's like that's your hunting man at that point.
You're literally hunting, man.
You're literally hunting a man.
Yeah.
But back to babies.
Oh, babies, yeah.
We gotta shout out your younger sister and my younger brother, man, because anchor babies, man.
Because they're and they're no longer babies, man.
Nah, that's true. But at one point they were anchor babies. And for those that don't know what an anchor baby is, it's
Everybody knows what anchor
Wow.
baby is. Bro. Come on, you understand the English language.
That's
you
true.
understand what a crack baby is. I mean, a crack.
crack baby.
Yeah, 'cause I was just talking about crack babies yesterday. Like,
Oh yeah.
I was talking about how I don't think I've ever met a crack baby, but then
Oh,
that's because
yeah.
I didn't know crack babies were a thing. So I was like I might
Ah.
have met a crack baby throughout my life, and I might.
Oh, we definitely met crack babies,
Then I
my
might
guy.
have not known, But
Yeah, we
then
definitely didn't
but then
know.
that would explain a lot of things.
The way I
Yeah.
see it is, if think of every white person that was more fucked up in the game than you, that was a crack baby, my guy. Think of all the white people that you're like, wow, I'm doing so much better than you. Crack babies.
might be, bro.
It might be
Again, that would explain a lot
a
of things.
lot,
A lot of
a
things. Yeah.
lot.
But anchor babies.
Anchor babies. So here's the thing, man. This is something I was mentioning before. I've worked with a lot of a lot of Mexicans, a lot of Hondurans, a lot of people south of the border. And the one thing that I've never really understood is, okay, so you're leaving your country because you're pretty messed up. You might have a kid or two and you want to provide for them. So obviously you come to the US because there's a lot of promise in that. There's the potential to get more money, to build a better lifestyle for you and your family, to nurture them, for them to grow in a better environment than you did so that they can one day become twice the person that you were, three times the person that you were. So your ultimate goal when you come here is I want a better lifestyle. I want to facilitate every aspect of my life. And I want to take advantage of opportunities that I didn't have in my country because I want to have better quality of life. The problem is that a lot of these people come and they'll shoot three babies out. And I never saw the sense in that, man.
I mean, we come from a culture where your retirement plan is your kids.
It's your kids.
You
Your
know,
kids taking care of
we
you.
don't got no 401ks.
No.
We don't got no IRAs. We don't got
No.
none of that stuff. We don't
No.
got no bonds. We don't own shares and shit. Nah. Your retirement plan is your kids.
Which is my next point, man. What we have to do, and I think this is what Paisa Life is gonna come. We're gonna hand out pamphlets to coyotes, and we're gonna be like, "Listen, you're about to cross the border. This is all the do's and don'ts that you're about to face when you're in the U.S."
like it's kind of like giving people that do heroin clean needles. We start educating them the moment they get in here.
There you go.
Like if the government won't do like a screening process, not that we will, but we'll just put out a suggested
There you go.
suggested things, do's and don'ts. Yeah.
It's like, yeah, absolutely. You came to the country. Look, bad idea to have three kids in a row. Have one because you're gonna need it to anchor you. One is okay because you're gonna need it because once IRS comes knocking at the door and you're pregnant, you're good money. They're not gonna.
Almost.
Maybe now. You know what? When my mom was pregnant with my little brother, she actually got detained by ICE.
Well, I don't know if it was. Nah,
Yeah, man. They ran up. Oh, it was not. It wasn't ICE.
Nah,
It was
wasn't ICE
it was immigration ran up into.
Because Homeland Security
That's
took over
true.
immigration after 2003, and
That's
then
true.
that's what changed the whole
Yeah, that's
again
true.
Paisa Life.
That's
That
true.
changed the whole immigration
Okay,
scene.
fair. That was 98.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that it was anything pre 9/11, bro. Like remember
It was light work.
your
Yeah.
post 9/11 is a real deal, and we're really
That's
proof of
true.
it. Like the whole reason why immigration is fucked up right now is because of 9/11.
That's true.
Not because of 9/11, but after 9/11, Homeland Security came about, and then they took over, immigration and customs.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah, that's crazy, man.
Yeah, man. But yeah, she was detained. They had her handcuffed and everything, but because she was pregnant, they were like, "Well, we really can't keep you here. That wouldn't look good on us. So
Yeah.
let her go."
Yeah, they were lenient back then, but
Oh, they were very.
that's when you could really marry somebody and you could get your green card.
Oh yeah.
That's like the golden days, bro. Golden bison. That's why all the grandpas that came here, they got
Yeah.
papers because of that. 'Cause
Yeah,
they
man.
could just they was just here and then they were like, here you go,
Yeah.
green cards.
There you go.
And then now we're over here like, hey, I'm trying to do way more than them, but I don't got green cards. I'm like, fuck.
Oh, you know what? Like not.
Again, but we live life. Though. We live life.
Yeah.
We live the hand we're dealt, and we don't let material things, dictate how happy we are in life.
That's true.
We have our basic needs. Family, food, and health.
Yeah, that's true.
What else do we really want? Everything-
Lambos.
Yeah, everything else is a plus. Everything else is a plus. Obviously, we're aiming for the Lambos, but you can never enjoy a Lamborghini if you don't see your kids smile.
That's
If
true.
If you
That's true.
like if you cop a Lambo, but your mom's still living in an apartment, like priorities
Yeah,
fucked up.
priorities.
But again,
Absolutely.
we do want to build to where it's like
Yeah.
we got everybody settled. So now
You know
we're
what?
scooping Lambos.
I tried explaining that to my ex girlfriend. She's white. She's Italian, German, Irish. So she's pure. She's Aryan. If she was living in Germany in those days, she would be okay. She would be okay. She would live. But she was explaining to me like, why do you want this? Why are your priorities into getting more money? Why is it that you're so into material possessions? And I had to explain to her, well, listen, it's not just about that. I mess around a lot and I joke around a lot that I want a Lambo and I want a mansion and this. But the reality is I just want a better lifestyle for my family because they've worked so much, they sacrificed so much. So she tried to turn it around and said, well, your family just wants you to do good and have good character and be happy. And I said, well, yeah, but I wouldn't be happy if I knew that they were still struggling while I'm living a decent lifestyle. And she just didn't seem to understand that concept. I don't know if it's a cultural thing.
It's for 401ks, bro.
401ks.
That if you if you don't understand that, that means you're gonna put someone in a home at some point in your life.
Yeah, man.
And then
Nah, man,
homes are a
that's
sad place. Like I understand their need for them. I understand all of that.
yeah,
Again, I don't know how I'm gonna take care of my parents.
yeah. That's the thing, man.
I mean, if anything, maybe have them live with me and then maybe hire a nurse.
That's you know what that's yo that is something that I don't think about, but I should because it's gonna happen one day.
Life, bro. Life again.
Life,
Again, you
yeah,
gotta reflect on
yeah,
mortality,
man.
bro.
That's why I want the big house. That's not for me. It's because I eventually
Everybody else in it,
exactly, and they don't see it that
I'm
way.
gonna be working. You guys can have it,
Exactly,
Like
exactly.
yeah, like I don't mind busting my ass for, for my kids,
Yeah,
for my wife,
yeah,
I want us to be happy,
yeah.
I want to be able to buy all my family a crib, I
Mhm.
want to make sure that everybody good,
Yeah.
It's not because it benefits me.
Yeah. That. Yeah.
To be honest, I could do whatever it is, as long as I'm like I said out there working, doing something, I'm happy, I don't care what it is,
Yeah. Yeah.
Again, if good things come along with that, good. If not, we got what we need.
Yeah. But to be fair, man, she wasn't really. She was white, but she wasn't that white. She could speak Spanish and she knew how to cook enchiladas. So she couldn't be that white.
It's that fusion,
That's that
it's
fusion.
that through osmosis shit. Yeah. So that where we on the list, man? 'Cause
Well, we pretty much covered everything and nothing, really. We've gone through it.
that sounds like the type of podcast we're gonna
Yeah,
have.
man. We went through everything, but we didn't really go through everything.
And isn't that what podcasts are
Pretty
really about?
much. And we actually been talking for about 40 minutes, which is
Yeah.
I'm surprised we went this long.
Well,
We
that's
went on
good.
a tangent.
Again, we gotta first run at it. We're just gonna throw this out there. Hopefully, it's good.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll
Yeah.
have to edit this.
But again, the more Paisa Life things we got going on, the more we'll let you know. Again, it's not me. It's not just my man O over here.
Mhm.
Again, I don't think we said our names.
No.
So
So
yeah, yeah, Bugs. I mean, if you really, really, really know me, then you know me. But if you're gonna know who I'm gonna be, Bugs.
you can
On
refer to me as Ovi the God.
Ovi the God.
Ovi the God.
Ovi the God.
If you know who I am, then you've never heard that nickname. This is the world premiere of that nickname. So salute me when you see me. You
Yeah.
praise me.
Nah, we'll be out there though. We'll try to get more stuff out. We're gonna try to get more
Absolutely.
people. Obviously,
Well, that's the thing I want. I think this is a good run and all, but I think eventually what I would like, or where I see the direction of one aspect of this Paisa life, is we get more Paisas involved. People that are actually doing something. They're not just out there getting drunk and being rowdy. Someone who they're actually trying to make changes in
living
the
the struggle.
community.
Living
Yeah,
the
living the struggle, but making the best out of the struggle,
Yeah,
which is what I think we should really focus on.
yeah. Because again, we come from pole culture, so
Absolutely.
like we try to make the best of our resources.
Absolutely.
And then that's pretty much what we're all about, man.
Yeah.
Again, all Paisa Life stuff. That's the only life we know, man.
Yeah,
That's
man.
the only life we know. So we'll be here sometime next week, next
Absolutely.
month, sometime in the future, man. We'll
Well,
figure it
actually,
out.
you know what? We have about 7 minutes for a 50-minute mark, and this is something I've been wanting to ask you.
What's up?
How's being a dad?
It's cool, man. It's cool. I don't want to say it's fulfilling, but it's fulfilling.
It's
man.
a feeling. It's gratifying.
Yeah. The best way for me to explain it is that you ever love yourself so much that's like, yo, I love me. Imagine if you could make like little yous.
Yeah.
That's what having kids is
Yeah.
like. That you make little yous,
Right.
and you could literally shape them the way you want.
Right.
Obviously, before culture gets to them and
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
external things. But
Right.
again, you can shape the foundation of a life. Again, I understand. Like you gotta appreciate what what it is, man. It's a lot of struggles. It's a lot of everything. But afterwards, you feel great, right?
Yeah.
The moments you see them smile, the moments you realize that all the things that you feel bad about doing because you're not with them pay off. Then that's like there's no feeling like that, bro. And like it's crazy because I've done adrenaline stuff. I feel like I'm
Right.
a slight bit of adrenaline junkie, slight, but not that I like excitement and shit like that, but yo, nothing is more satisfying than just seeing my kids happy, bro. Like I like being happy. It's cool, but I get more enjoyment out of seeing other people happy,
Right.
and just seeing having all the stuff that I never had is fucking amazing, bro. Like you have no idea how amazing it is for me to be able to give my daughter her own room and then have her theme it out to the latest trend that she likes. Right now she likes Shopkins. They're like little miniature toys of just consumer goods.
Mm-hmm.
Electronics, shoes, things like that. And her whole room is themed out like that. She got posters. She got the bed sheets. She got stuffed animals.
Mm-hmm.
She got everything. She got the bed covers, everything. Pillows. She got the clothing, the socks, everything. You could think of it like it's branded that. And it's amazing. That she just enjoys the shit out of it. And I can see that she doesn't fascinate on the fact that she has a room. She just likes to bring her cousins over because like, hey, I got all these cool
Yeah.
things. Like, hey, we should use them together because I
Right.
got no use for it alone.
Right.
And like that's why again, you can shape your kids however you want.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm gonna release me into the world, obviously I want them to be prepared to defend themselves at any
Mm-hmm.
means necessary. But I also want them to be the best humans they can be.
Yeah.
Because again, I love myself so much that I know that that's who I am. So that's why I want to put more me's out.
Right.
So
Well, see, but it's the thing that's because they're used.
yeah,
See, I dated this girl with a kid, and man, it was rough. It was rough. I couldn't do it.
see, but that's being stepdad. You're not.
Yeah,
You're
I
not. You're
couldn't
not.
do it, man.
Bro, like it's so much more different when you realize, yo, I ejaculated, and that's exactly what
That's
came.
my grown up seed. Yeah,
What came
absolutely.
of it. Like
Yeah.
it's literally my. I hate to be like that vague, but I mean
Vulgar.
that vulgar, but like that's just exactly what it
But
is,
no,
man.
but I think there's something biological to that.
You're connected to it.
Yeah.
Like it's literally you. Like
Yeah.
it literally has your blood. It's your DNA. Like there's nothing more you than your DNA.
Yeah, man. And that was my whole thing with the girl I was seeing. Like she was ready to settle down and have a family because she already started a family. It just didn't go her way. So she's looking for someone to supplement that and say, "This is our family." And I was just not the guy to do that. I don't get me wrong. The kid was adorable kid. I grew attached to the girl, the little girl. But at the end of the day, it's not my kid. And I felt like,
Like you're cool, but
but yeah, you're not that cool.
yeah, because when it's your kid, bro, it's the coolest.
Yeah, man.
Coolest.
I can imagine. But that was the thing, man. I could never really look at myself in the mirror and say, wow, I'm a stepdad. Yeah, not really. This is someone else's kid. I felt weird. I couldn't do it.
It's not for everybody, bro.
It's not for everybody. Nah, man. Also,
Again, that's culturally though.
that could be it. Also, I'm a scoundrel, man. I couldn't do it. Even though I was with her and there was a kid involved, it couldn't stop me from talking to other women.
So what you're saying is that you were being a man.
I was being a man.
and so you're being a male in your mid 20s.
That sounds about right.
What you're telling
That's
me.
what I was doing.
Yeah, yeah.
I couldn't do it, man.
It's life, bro. Again, we choose the path we walk down, and then you just pretty much all we have to do is just enjoy the way when we walk down it.
But I'm about to bring it full circle. But that's what got me really thinking about my dad coming over here because he had me. He had to do that.
Yeah.
And thinking about it, if I was in his position, I don't know if I would do the same thing, man. I don't know if I could leave everything here and then go to Mexico. Suppose Mexico has this big
Let's just say
boom.
Canada. Let's just keep moving up.
Let's say Canada. Canada starts popping. Let's say Drake boosts the economy so much that there's jobs for everybody and
like the whole country's New York now.
exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know if I have it in me to do it.
I mean, if you had kids, you would trust me.
I think that's what it is,
like-
and I think that's the factor.
Because you're the only person that would go to infinity and beyond for you,
I think that could be it.
and you do that for your kids.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
All right, man.
So that's
I think that about wraps up everything we wanted to discuss. Like I said, this is just a taste, just a tip.
hopefully we get more people in here.
Hopefully,
soon.
next time. Yeah, absolutely. We want more Paisa. So if you're a Paisa and you have a story to tell, you have an experience to share, come through. We have we'll get another mic. We'll
Well,
finesse it.
the way we're sending out the invite is we're hotboying it in the basement right now. So,
That's right.
If you neighbor come through,
Come through. There is a drug test screening.
we got to make sure you pass background
You
checks.
got to
and all
make
that.
background checks. The drug test. If you refuse to take a drug, we are not working with you. Nah, that's not true. Now come through. Anybody's welcome. Paisas, brown, white, black.
Yeah.
If you
Oh, I forgot to mention, we're pretty much right now we're starting from Newburgh, but we're gonna expand
expand.
this. Yeah, because like I feel we got such a big community here that's not
Oh
represented.
yeah, we have a huge audience that we can potentially pull in.
Yeah, like in the Paisa community, a lot of Paisas know Newburgh,
Absolutely,
so that's why we're starting off from here. So again, anybody in Newburgh trying to come through on
absolutely,
this, hit us up.
exactly. So if you're a
Yeah.
paisa and you know other paisas,
You want
share
to talk?
this.
You want to talk about being Paisa? You know,
Come through. This invitation's open to everybody.
that's what we're about. So,
That's what we're about.
Paisa Life podcast out. I guess.
Out.
Peace.